Jesus taught, his voice calm and clear. A crowd gathered, listening intently to his words. Murmurs of understanding rippled through them. Suddenly, a commotion broke the peace. Pharisees burst in, their faces grim. They dragged a woman, her clothes disheveled. Her eyes were wide with fear and shame. She stumbled, almost falling before Jesus. The Pharisees thrust her forward violently. "Teacher, this woman was caught in adultery." Their voices were harsh, filled with accusation. They pointed at her, condemning her openly. Moses' law commands us to stone such women. A heavy silence fell over the court. The crowd gasped, then whispered nervously. "What do you say, Jesus?" they challenged. Their eyes gleamed with a cunning trap. Jesus remained still, his gaze serene. He knelt slowly, a deliberate movement. His fingers touched the dusty ground. He began to write in the dust. The woman trembled, her head bowed low. She braced herself for the inevitable stones. Her accusers held stones, palpable threats. Their hands gripped the rough, cold rocks. Harsh whispers filled the tense air. The Pharisees exchanged knowing glances. They believed they had cornered him. Jesus continued writing, seemingly unconcerned. The dust swirled gently under his hand. The woman dared not look up. Her heart pounded with terror. The weight of their judgment pressed upon her. The accusers grew impatient, shifting their feet. "Answer us, Jesus," one demanded loudly. "Still," he wrote, his expression unreadable. The sun climbed higher, warming the stones. The air crackled with anticipation. The woman's fate hung precariously. Jesus' silence was profound. He drew symbols or words in the dirt. The Pharisees' anger began to simmer. They wanted a clear, condemning answer. But Jesus offered only silent contemplation. The woman felt utterly exposed. Her shame was a burning brand. The stones felt heavier in their hands. A low angle shot from the ground. Her perspective. Dusty feet surrounded her. Stones clutched in many hands, ready. Then, Jesus' calm hands writing in the dust. His deep crimson cloak visible, flowing. He didn't look up, ignoring their demands. The accusers' faces, contorted with expectation. She waited, every muscle tensed. The first stone, she knew, would be swift. Her breath hitched, a silent prayer. The air was thick with unspoken violence. Jesus' fingers moved slowly, deliberately. Jesus knelt, writing in the dust. The crowd's anger simmering. Harsh whispers and shifting stones filled the tense air. Suddenly, Jesus slowly rose. His red cloak caught the morning light. A serene authority emanated from his face. He looked directly at the angry mob. His gaze was calm, yet piercing. The clamor began to subside. He spoke, his voice clear and resonant. "Let him who is without sin cast the first stone." The words hung in the air, silencing the crowd. A collective gasp rippled through them. Their faces registered shock, then introspection. Jesus then returned to writing in the dust. He seemed to ignore their stunned reactions. The woman, still trembling, watched him. Her accusers exchanged uneasy glances. The eldest man, a Pharisee, shifted his weight. His hand, clutching a stone, began to tremble. He looked at the ground, then at Jesus. A realization dawned in his eyes. He slowly lowered his hand. The stone clattered softly to the earth. He turned and quietly melted away. Another accuser, younger, followed suit. His stone, too, dropped with a dull thud. One by one, they began to depart. Their faces were etched with shame. The sound of falling stones punctuated the silence. The crowd thinned, then vanished. Only Jesus and the woman remained. The temple courts were now eerily quiet. Jesus looked up from the dust. He knelt before the woman. His eyes held profound compassion. He spoke gently, his voice soft. "Woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you?" She looked around at the empty space. Tears welled in her eyes, but they were different now. A glimmer of hope flickered within her. She whispered, almost inaudibly, "No one, Lord." Jesus smiled, a tender, forgiving smile. "Neither do I condemn you." His words were a balm to her wounded soul. He extended a hand, a gesture of grace. With gentle firmness, he commanded her, "Go and sin no more." It was not just forgiveness, but a new beginning, the power to embrace a different life. She looked at him, gratitude overwhelming her. The morning light fully illuminated the empty courts. A fresh breeze stirred the air. She rose, feeling lighter, reborn. Her past was forgiven, her future open. Jesus watched her go, a quiet peace on his face. The lesson of mercy echoed through the temple. Grace had triumphed over judgment.